My name is Robin Banister. My occupation is business owner of restaurants.
My name is Jon Swan. I am more or less the president of Swan Family Restaurants, or the owner of Swan Family Restaurants.
My name is Paulina Swan, and I'm a restaurant owner.
My name's Ashley Swan. I'm a chef of a couple restaurants in Rochester.
We own 6 restaurants in Rochester, New York. They are Dorado, Rue, Ox and Stone, Vern's, Swan Dive, Daily Refresher. And we recently also launched a catering company called Folk.
I became a restaurant mogul in Rochester, New York, mostly from my mom. She had a restaurant when I was really young, and then she started Sibone, and I worked there starting when I was like 12, 13. We'll push it to 14 because I think that's illegal.
The very first successful restaurant that I opened was called Cafe Sibone, and which is now Rue.
Swan Family Restaurants, I like going to Rue on Park Avenue. It's a good one. That's my favorite, I would say. I usually go to Rue once or twice a week on the weekends, just to relax, have brunch, have a nice breakfast, start the day.
We realized there wasn't really a French restaurant in Rochester, so we closed Sibone and opened Rue. Actually, yeah, my mom actually used to call me Rue when I was little, because I never wanted to leave her pouch, she said, which is kind of embarrassing, but whatever. And also, obviously, Rue and French cooking. So that just kind of is where we got the name for.
What I love about Rue is really being a part of a larger community, both in the hospitality industry and in the Rochester community at large. I've met a lot of great people who both work for the industry and also frequent these locations. You'll find that there's a certain type of people who just frequent these restaurants all the time, and I've got to say that they're totally my people. Yeah, just made a great connection with a lot of local staff, a lot of local businesses in the area. When I mentioned that I work at Rue, almost everyone lights up and really knows how good our food is and how good our service is. So constantly just making new connections within the community has been one of my favorite parts about working here.
I think what makes Rue unique, and I've never been to France, but I hear that we did a bang-up job at kind of making you feel like you've been transported into Europe there. And I think, tying in a new wave with classic French cuisine is something that you don't see a ton of in Rochester. There's a handful of French restaurants, maybe. I think there's maybe 3 other ones. So I really love that about it. And that's where this all started, so.
Yeah. Dorado got its name from, actually, when I was a kid, I had a blanket. It was a Pablo Picasso sketch. And so the logo is a sun off of the blanket. And it's a constellation, so I like that correlation.
Dorado is just because the mahi fish was one of the main menu items for Dorado, and we just thought a cool name for a Mexican restaurant, honestly.
My name is Chaz DeMor. I have been working at Dorado for 3 years. Dorado specializes in Latin fusion food, so tacos, enchiladas, burritos, and more. We do the best fish in the city, in my opinion. Great mahi, shrimp, or salmon here, and we slow cook our chicken, pork, and beef daily. Best guacamole. It's made with fresh avocados, quality ingredients, and we keep it as low price point as we can. People always return to Dorado because we're the best, frankly. There's plenty of Mexican or Latin fusion restaurants in the city. We're a small place, but everyone just between our selection of spirits and how fast we can turn out our spirits and our food here is probably a big thing, plus all the personality that we keep behind here at the bar.
Ox and Stone is built on an agave bar program. So ox traditionally will pull around what's called a tahona stone and crush the agave to make tequila, and it's also used in making corn tortillas.
My name is Gretchen Nace. I'm the general manager of Ox and Stone. My favorite dish, if I had to pick just one, is the sizzling shrimp. It comes in a cast iron. It's literally sizzling, as the name describes. It has really great flavor, has a little bit of heat to it, and it's just like a traditional Latin dish. Robin, Paulina, Jon, even Ashley, though they're all a family and they're all here, they're all present. We all know who they are, we all recognize their name. They make us feel like we're a part of their family, they all care about us. It's not just clocking in and clocking out, we're a part of something big, and they make us feel that way. Yeah, it's a big deal. I love doing this job because I get to see people celebrating just their day-to-day. I get to see people celebrating important things in their life. I get to facilitate that. I get to make their special moments more special. And that has always been a big deal for me. I get to meet all sorts of different people, all in different walks of life, and just provide good meals, good drinks to them. And yeah, seems like a small thing, but it's a big thing. We all celebrate things all the time, no matter what profession you have, no matter what you do in your life. We're all looking to celebrate special times, and I get to be that for people.
Vern's got its name from my grandfather.
And my name's Daniel Rehor. I'm the front of house manager at Vern's. I'm a bartender and server and kind of do everything in the front of house capacity. So I would describe Vern's as a warm, inviting, and delicious experience.
I think what makes Vern's so special is I think that we really tried to emulate what it felt like to just go to your grandma and grandpa's house, or whoever is that close to you, whoever is your grandma and grandpa, and kind of make you feel like you had a big warm hug.
I think what makes Vern's so awesome is the staff that works here, the family of hospitality professionals who really understand that you can go into any restaurant and get great food and drinks, but it's the atmosphere and the vibe of a place that really makes dining somewhere special.
The Daily Refresher got its name after a trip to Napa Valley, and we ran into a place called Gott's Refresher, and I thought it was really catchy. We really liked it. It was like a roadside milkshake stand, and we thought there's another way to get refreshed, and that's with whiskey, and that's how that happened.
My name is Victor Mendez, and I'm the head bartender of the Daily Refresher. The Daily Refresher is a speakeasy-style craft cocktail bar with the largest selection of whiskeys in Rochester. My favorite part about working at the Daily Refresher is the ability to create and use fresh ingredients to make the best cocktails that we could really come up with. They give us a lot of ability to experiment and give us all the tools to make fresh juices, fresh syrups in-house, and use the finest spirits to put it together and make the best cocktails.
Swan Dive got its name, it's just kind of a play on words. Our last name is Swan, and we launched this with my sister Paulina, and we kind of wanted to make an upscale dive bar.
The Swan Dive is, I think, literally they're taking a dive into another bar. So, Swan Dive is like, is this going to work or not?
Swan Dive got its name. That one was a little tricky. We just took our last name and we were kind of doing an upscale dive bar theme, so it kind of worked out.
During COVID, it was honestly extremely difficult. We had to close a lot of our restaurants. We were very limited on what hours we could be open because most of it was takeout. The most challenging thing I've ever been through, honestly.
COVID was a real rough time for our business. We had to shut down, of course, for several months while we were with quarantine happening, and that was difficult being away from our customers and not having that impersonal presence with them. So our regulars we weren't able to see on a regular basis. For me, my regulars are my family and friends, or they become that most of the time too. So not being around them was very difficult. Once things were lifted and we were allowed to come back to work, it was difficult because we couldn't just provide drinks to people. They had to have mandates from New York State where they had to order food as well, so that became a difficult thing for a tequila bar like Dorado, mandating that food was there. And then the mask guidelines, so we started policing how people were being hygienic or something like that. And it wasn't very easy at all. But now that the restrictions have lifted, the sun's coming in the horizon, and we're back to normal.
The Rochester community helped out during the pandemic by staying with us, continuing to be great guests and customers, and there were so many people that ordered takeout weekly just to help us, and it was amazing. We actually did some home deliveries to some of our really regular guests that couldn't come out because of their health conditions and stuff like that. So I mean, Rochester is a huge community-based city in my mind. So a lot of people were very helpful through it.
We were able to retain a core that was, really passionate about the industry, showed up to work with a smile on their face, kept it light, and we were able to just push through with that.
Yeah, trials during COVID were huge. Not only trying to navigate ourselves and what we were going to do, how do we reopen, but all of the people that work for our family and worrying about them as well.
Our staff as a bulk for all the restaurants, we have our core staff, which has been with us honestly since we opened most of the restaurants. We don't turn over a lot of staff, which is, I think, really important. Once they're with us, they stay. We pay very well. We have a lot of unity with our staff, and we give our staff a lot of care.
I think one of the most important things that a business owner can do is pay close attention to their hiring process. And over the last few years, I think that we've had a shift as a group about how we hire. And rather than going for the person with the best credentials, for instance, we started hiring on personality and looking especially for people that are collaborative in nature, that have initiative. Those are the three earmark things that we look for now in our interview process. Personality, warmth, all those kind of characteristics are really important to us.
Yeah, I think that we are a family that owns restaurants too, so it has always been very family oriented and based on. So I think that's only just going to bleed out to our staff. I always actually try to tell myself to not befriend everyone that I work with because it's also hard to be a boss to your friend. But I think that's important and make people feel welcome and at home at their job as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things about the Swan Family Restaurants is the people that they hire. They just happen to attract really nice folks. Gotten to be friends with a lot of their staff, just because they're nice, they're funny, personable. You know what I mean?
It's a family affair. We start working with them, and you become part of the family.
Working for the Swan family has been the most inviting, welcoming, and the most trusted I've felt in a job that I've had in the restaurant industry. They're an incredible family to work for.
I feel like I've liked my experience here so much that I've tried to bring the people that are close to me in the industry into the job with me. And I wouldn't be doing that unless I really liked where I worked and stuff like that. But I feel like I wanted to share this environment, this workspace with just a lot more people. And I felt like I knew a lot of good people in my circle, my social circle, that would be great fits for this restaurant. My girlfriend is the bartender here on Saturday nights. Our closest friend is the bartender next door at Dorado, Sierra Post. And then, this is a really main part of my friend group, and that's turned into, and I really do enjoy hanging out with all the staff members of these restaurants.
I love the restaurant business when I was working in it. I mean, it was something different thrown at me every day. That's my thing. I'm a multitasker. I love when I have something different every day to deal with.
What I love about being in the restaurant industry is honestly giving people food and beverage and a good time, a memorable experience. I think it's really important to not only have somebody leave your restaurant being like, oh, that meal was really good. They're like, I can't wait to go back because I loved being there. That's something that I think we really tried to hit with Vern's especially, and I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I'm extremely passionate about the restaurants, even more so every year, I think. I won't lie, during the pandemic, I was really questioning what I was doing because it was a little scary there for a bit. But, you know, when I go out and travel, my favorite thing to do is go experience another restaurant or bar or something of that nature. And I love that I'm able to provide that sort of experience to so many different people.
What I love about doing this is feeding people great food and having a great atmosphere for people to go to. And we have so many regulars and people that have just wonderful things to say about our food and our places and where it takes them somewhere else out of Rochester. And it's just a great feeling to be reminded of that we have the capacity to do something like that is really great. I think our restaurants are successful because we give our all. We give our heart and soul, honestly, into all of our places. We don't put bad product out, or we at least strive to not, ever. All of our places, everything's house made, and the attention to detail is all there. So I think it's mostly just because my heart is fully into the restaurants, so.
I am definitely still passionate about the restaurant industry after all these years. It only grows.
Probably my favorite experience at my restaurant was probably when I met my wife. She wasn't working for me or anything, so it wasn't weird. But she was friends with one of our employees, and she came in one night and hit it off, and that was at Dorado, at the bar. Stool number 4, probably. And that was it.
One of my favorite memories of, I would say, Rue, I grew up there. I've been in that building almost 20 years, in that space. So it will always be close to my heart, and it's like my second home, honestly. And yeah, it's just, I don't think that I could imagine not having it there, so.
My most notable memories about the restaurants is working with my children and enjoying watching them grow into an industry and take pride in it. And I'm just very proud of my children and how they've accomplished their goals. And I mean, they impress me every day, and that's my fondest memory, that I've actually given them their careers and helped them to attain their goals. I know, I'm almost gonna cry there for a second. No, but I mean, I can't believe some of the stuff they do. They're really amazing kids. I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky.